If I wanted to buy a jumbo jet, fill it with gummy worms, to host a tea party, then fly to Philadelphia to see where the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air spent most of his days, and then hop over to Idaho so that I can pick up some potatoes, to air fry some fries, and then come right back home to catch an episode of Gossip Girl, rerun of course, I would do it. If I had the money, I would do it. And what made me think about that is it seems like as you become more successful, as you start to make more money, people have this habit of feeling like decisions that you make or the things that you purchase with that money have anything to do with them. And they start to judge you for it. I find it really funny how people love the story of people coming up. People love watching somebody's journey, but the second they become successful, they start to judge them for it, and they start to talk about how much that person has changed. Well, yeah, of course that person has changed. Their bank account has grown, okay? There's extra zeros there. And I'm just going to tell you guys right now, with every zero that my bank account accumulates, I'm changing. That's all I can say. I'm the version of Ashley today versus the version of her with a few more O's on the back of that statement is a very different person. And I don't think people enjoying their money makes them a bad person. How do you know this isn't something that they wanted to do since they were a kid? It's like when we're dreaming about having money and freedom and time and all these things, we think about all the silly things that we would do with it. Of course, you want to be practical, but I don't think there's anything wrong with living out your best life and your best dreams if you can afford to. And I feel like a lot of that judgment is placed on women. And women who are criticized because they're in the limelight. For example, I'm just going to say Cardi B. Cardi B is the same person now that she was when she was coming up. Everybody loved Cardi when she was coming up. She still had relationship problems. She still was, going through it time and time again. But everybody was on her side then because, she was on the come up. She was still getting there. No one really judged her because we felt like that she was on the same level as us. Like, who doesn't have relationship issues? There's a lot of people who end up in relationships where somebody cheats on them and they just stay, and that person does not have a lot of zeros on the back of their bank account. Or they don't marry that person. They have kids with that person and they still do them dirty and they choose to stay because they want a better quality of life for their kids. But it seems like once you get this limelight and you start to attain your goals, people just hold you to a different standard like you're not human. Like with Cardi B and her husband, because, I know they're probably going through it now, but it's like, that's her husband. Or was. I'm not really sure the status of their relationship. To be honest, I don't pay attention like that. But I just remember overhearing a conversation with a couple of my friends while we were hanging out, and they were just kind of talking about how they would never. And I'm like, girl, because there was a time that you were stressed over somebody who was not on that level. Somebody who was making an hourly wage you were stressed about. But you want to judge this woman because she's trying to work things out with her husband that she has a few kids with. It's like we really got to give each other grace. Another person that I think, and it's like, we don't know these people personally, but we're so quick to judge them for their situation. And it's like Kim Kardashian, she gets a lot of things. And I find I'm just going to say one thing. I think that if you can take a really devastating situation for anybody else and turn it into what they have turned their lives into, that is a gift. That is a talent. Okay? Turning lemons into lemonade something that could literally stain you and still continues to stain her reputation to an extent, and turn around and amass such a fortune and some respect among people and literally innovate an entire industry. That is light, and that is a gift that a lot of people don't have. So you have to respect somebody with that much drive and that much talent, and also that much strength, because if other people were in a situation like that and their life and their reputation was ruined, most people would not be able to come back from that. But with her, I just remember somebody was making a comment and talking about like, oh, something that hoe. And then when I thought about it, I was just like, is she a hoe though? Like, no, not really. The people that she was with, she was in relationships with, at least the people that we heard about. So it's like, because it's in the limelight, that makes her a hoe? And usually the people saying these things are men. But it's like those same men who want to pass judgment and call somebody a hoe, like would die at a chance to be with that hoe. I don't know. I know this was probably kind of like a weird thought process, conversation, whatever, but it was just kind of going through my head because I thought about, what I would actually do or what I will do as I start to get more money, because I'm making more money and it is changing me. My taste is changed. The way that I value my time is changing. I'm starting to allow myself to spend more money and on myself. Because I never had any issues spending money on other people and gifting, but spending money on myself and not feeling guilty about it. And I think that that's awesome. It's a form of growth that comes with more responsibility as well, but I think it's great for people to elevate their lives. And if I spend my money on a hamster farm because I want to throw a hamster circus, that should be okay if that's what I want to do. As silly as it sounds, because I think that everybody is entitled to their own happiness and how they find it. And I think we need to work on judging people less for their success and trying to study it more. And just try and figure out what makes us more successful. As people tell me that I'm changing, I'm embracing it, because each phase and each level that I've grown and that I've elevated to has been better than the last. And it's also come with more happiness. So I'm just embracing the way that my life is changing and the person that I'm becoming as I make more money. Obviously, I don't want to become a nasty person or a crappy person for it. But the next time somebody tells me, hey, you've changed, I'm just going to say thank you. Because ultimately, I don't want to be so relatable to the situation that I was in a year ago. I want to elevate. I want to relate to people who are better off than me. So I think it's something to look forward to. What do you guys think? I know some people kind of trip and like go a little crazy, but if you could do anything because your income was limitless, what would you do with it? Would you stay exactly the same? I highly doubt it.